right now we're at Wraps. Get Tinie Tempah's rooftop bar / food. Right now I'm drinking the Wild Grizzly, Wild Guan, as you can see it there. Pineapple and what's this one? Coconut flavour. Get me? Mards. Geldom sugar if you want the Geldom sugar. This one there. But yeah, we're here. I'm about to chop it up, eat some food from Wraps, as you can see it there. Flexing, all the talk in the building. You get me? Yeah, we're about to try some nice food and chop it up with Tinie. Let's see how it goes.
See, welcome, my bro.
Welcome, my G. Welcome.
So, listen, Tinie, I want to appreciate you for bringing us here, but I don't know where to start.
My bro.
No, before we oh, okay, go on. Before we start anything, what a gift for you, bro.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, what a gift for you. I'll get my bag.
Thank you, man.
Just thanks for taking it. No, the other side, bro.
Wow, it's a big bag. It's a big bag still.
Oh, yeah.
Not that you need it, because I can already.
Nah, I need anything for free. I need it, bro. I'm not saying no
It's
to that, bro.
important that
Thank you very much, brother.
we got to look after
Thank you, man.
ourselves.
Appreciate
Look
that,
after
bro.
our skin.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
skincare brands, a little
My
bit.
brother, little temple and that,
Yeah.
you know. Sometimes it does get a little bit ashy. Do you get what I mean? So this is helpful still.
Yeah.
Self-care for the man them. I like that. Yeah, nice. Yeah, the grooming thing. I know a lot of brothers are not, you know, they don't like to admit it that they're into that, but it's very essential, man. I mean, they say black doesn't crack, but you have to maintain it for it not to crack. Yeah, you can't just go off of that. You get me? You have to.
Gotta make sure.
You have to do what you need to do, definitely, man.
So
I
back
appreciate
to
that.
it, Tinie.
Yeah.
Listen, there's just so many things. I see it on the menu, I see it here.
Yeah.
Where, this guy's looking, he doesn't even.
No, you guys should eat, man. Eat.
Where should I start, please? I just don't know where to start.
Well, I would start with an actual like rap. I would start with actual
So
rap
this-
because
this
they're
one-
proper hearty. These ones are the unruly ones here.
Okay.
So I'd probably start with one of them, or African Giant is over there.
Yeah.
If you can find it. So depending on how you're feeling today. I know you guys are half
really
Caribbean
the
as
Jamo
well,
thing.
innit?
Really.
Oh, that's what you used to say. I say you guys used to say that back in the day. No, okay.
What, that was Jamo?
Yeah, half.
Yeah, no, I used to say that I was from St. Lucia.
Say Lucia, okay. So unruly is the one.
I'm gonna go back to my roots and go to
I'm
African
gonna
Giant.
go with the African Giant, man.
Okay, all right, cool.
You get me?
Yeah.
But-
So let me know the verdict.
Yeah, you're not eating, bro.
Yeah, I'll tuck in, man. I'll tuck in definitely.
How you been though, cuz, man?
I've been all right, man. I can't complain. I've just been trying to just work hard as always, man.
Feel you, man.
How have you been?
I'm alright, man. I'm alright, you know. I'm alright. Just cracking on, man. Cracking on.
Yeah.
Trying to make things happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah. As we all are, man.
Yeah, you get me. But
You know, you do the little dance.
Yeah.
You know, it's going down well.
The food's good. Just start dancing for no reason.
yeah.
But all is good, bro. I mean, I've been working on this for like probably the last year or so. So basically, in the pandemic, I just started scratching my head. I was like, what? Like, not that I needed to do anything, but I was using, you know, us Nigerians, hardworking, want to make use of the time and that. I was just thinking, what can I do? Like, if I'm not doing shows and doing like all the typical stuff, what else can I do? And a friend of mine, Johnny Bowd, he owns a rum kitchen. So the person I've got into business with for this owns rum kitchen. So about 8 years ago, we were talking.
Brixton.
The one in Brixton, the one in Shoreditch, the one in Notting Hill.
How lit Brown Kitchen is.
Yeah, I heard it goes off in Brixton. That one is a spot, innit?
Brixton goes off.
I heard.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah. But so about 8 years ago, I spoke to him about investing in Rum Kitchen because I could see, obviously, there's a lot more authentic kind of Caribbean spots out there. But for me, obviously, we're living in England, so I'm like having that kind of hybrid of the influence of the cuisine, but kind of just broadening it out, commercializing it. It makes sense. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, man. We have to make sure this is right. Harley, where were you for this? Yeah, so for me, like that whole balance of like taking cultural influence from somewhere but still commercializing it to a point where, like, you know, at the end of the day, we live in a very multicultural society, innit?
Yeah.
So where all the other cultures can understand it and appreciate it, for me, is the sweet spot. So I saw Rum Kitchen, I was like, let me invest in this. He was on it, but for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. Like, it didn't come to be. And then fast forward like 8 years, like during the pandemic, he reaches out to me again and he's like, oh, I've now got this new business. I'm still doing Rum Kitchen, but I've got this new business called Kitchen Ventures, where we basically do dark kitchens all across London. Yeah, so the kitchens where all the Deliveroo food comes from, all the Uber Eats, they're called dark kitchens, yeah. And he was like, I've got this business, and he's like, do you guys like want to work on something? Do you want to work on a food concept? And yeah, it was a no-brainer. I had this concept in my mind for a while. So we sat down, hashed it out, and then yeah, before you know it, Raps was born.
So it's gonna sound mad ironic. Where did the name Raps come from?
I know, that's an easy one. Let's get the easy ones out the way.
Let's get the easy ones out.
So basically, it was kind of like a no-brainer. I always had the name in my mind, but I did take quite a bit of inspiration from Yo MTV Raps.
Oh, okay.
Hence the logo. So for anyone who don't know what Yo MTV Raps is, it's kind of like the original version of like a Daily Duppy or like a Fire in the Booth or something like that. And it was on MTV, and a lot of big stars, typically American stars back in the day, they would come on this platform and they would like just spray bars, innit? But for me, the imagery, like everything about it was always so iconic. And I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna like make a food concept, like Raps is perfect. Like it rolls off the tongue, and obviously it's very synonymous with what I do as well. So it's like a win-win. Yeah, so when we on the launch day, when people were coming up to me and going, Tinie, your raps are delicious. I was like, rah, I've heard my raps are hard. I've heard my raps are whack. I've heard my raps are meaty. I've never heard your raps are delicious. Do you get me?
Now it's going to be like, what raps are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, double entendres every day. So, yeah, man, it's good.
No, that's good, man. And it's amazing to see, like, obviously, look, from when you stepped in the game, it's been crazy, like, and then you've gone on to the Stub in London, What We Wear, probably a lot of other business ventures that you probably are not in the know of, which is cool. You know, you can't put your business out there, but how are these like businesses all birthed? Like, what place does it come from? How are they all birthed? Does it come from a place of purpose? Does it come from a place of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Very good question.
Yeah.
So, for me, after the wraps, you have to try the tenders, by the way.
Okay, so it's like the order, yeah.
Listen, you already just said that. I've already eaten 2.
Oh, you've eaten 2? They're hard, isn't it? Hard.
Unbelievable.
Hard.
Yeah.
And don't forget the sauces as
Yeah,
well.
the sauces are there. Which one's the one?
This one's mad, you know.
There's bare different ones though. Look at this one.
Let's experiment. But yeah, no, to be honest with you, like, I think it's fair to say, like, whether you're like a baller, rapper, you're working like in construction or finance or whatever field, nursing, you know, the medical sector. I think growing up how we grew up, we've always had bare dreams, innit? Like bare dreams. But then as you get older, you just learn to temper all of it and like you know, become a little bit more realistic, innit? So for me, rap was always like, this is the way that you're gonna be able to like blow, innit? This is the way that you're gonna be able to get your, like, change your life, hopefully if it goes well, change your family's life. And then this is gonna be the vehicle that basically puts you around lots of other people for you to be able to do lots of other things. And
you always knew that going into... So you always knew from rap, this is gonna come.
I didn't know specifically that raps was gonna come from rap, but I just knew that,
Other ventures
of course, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because that's why I was always saying on songs like Written in the Stars, you just got to keep screaming till they hear you out. You know, we got lots of dream and ambition, but a lot of people do, thank you, a lot of people do feel like it's only football or music that's gonna get them, you know.
And we spoke about that off camera with other things that we're trying to do ourselves with Baller Talk. Is that you're trying to, you go into the game with something, but then it ventures you to do other things as well.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think it got to a point where I'm like, I've done my third album, and I'm like, all right, cool. I've had some really successful releases, really successful projects, really successful albums. One of the biggest and best to do it, yeah. Then after I was like, how can I kind of like continue to challenge myself in a way that one keeps this interesting, yeah, but also challenges me as an individual. So when I made my third album, Youth, at the time I was setting up this thing called Imhotep, and Imhotep is like a creative agency, but it has like lots of verticals. So we kind of specialize in publishing.
I've got questions. And that just went over like, I know you're speaking on a good point, but Youth, what a name for an album.
Yeah, Youth. Yeah, that was my third album. I got to a point because you know what it was like. It was almost like there was a double meaning behind it. I was like, right, okay, cool. I'm late 20s or whatever. I was like, right, I'm not gonna be in my 20s forever. I was starting to realize that. Then I was thinking this rap thing, obviously, it's like red wine, so you can get better with time and better with age. But really, where the sweet spot is that 21-year-old kid. Do you get what I mean? That's just fresh out, like. So I was like, cool, I'm not that 21-year-old kid no more. And that's why if you look at the album cover of Youth, there's like a little Tinie. There's like a young, we found like one young youth from East London, way kid. We brought him down, put him in exactly the same clothes as me, but just like a mini version. And then we basically like, it was like me passing on the baton kind of thing. Like, you know what? I'm always gonna make music for all of my life, but I realized that I'm not that 21-year-old anymore. And I'm actually comfortable with not being that 21-year-old because when I was that 21-year-old, I did everything I needed to do. Do you get what I mean? I passed with flying colors. So there's no point of like, again, linking it to football. It's like someone coming in at 21, playing for Man City or Liverpool, doing everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, however many goals, however many assists, and then they get to a certain age, then they're looking back on it sad. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't. Like, there was no way. So then after I was like, right, okay. Like, start thinking about what it looks like to be like an older rapper, because what does an older rapper look like? Do you get what I mean? Outside of like, you know, the everyday lives that we see of people posting on Snap, what is the overall perception of an older rapper? Because all the young boys come out and say, oh, you're washed, you're this, you're that, you're that. I just see bare old man, old.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's part of the game, innit? Do you know what I mean? They do it in America.
I think in America they embrace it a bit more because there's a lot of older rappers in America. Like over here, these youths that are screaming that they're gonna get old one day. Music should still be, for example, like your music now, it's touched lives in different ways. I remember me going on loan to Histon in Cambridge in 2010, listening to Discovery. That album got me through. It got me through that period. You know what I mean? Wonder Man till now, till this day, is one of my favorite tracks.
It's a classic, bro.
You got what I'm saying? And just because you're older doesn't mean that people should stop giving us that. Just because of age shouldn't put a limit on what you should be able to give to us. Like, there's people out there that still need that voice, still need that. Do you got what I'm saying?
I think you're absolutely right, but what I noticed about American culture is like, you see like, see somewhere like New York, for example, where like somewhere where I guess we used to really look at as a place like, raw, New York is lit. Maybe we don't look at it even now as much, yeah? But if you think about it, yeah, someone like Jay-Z, one of the best rappers in the world, is like 50 years old, yeah? So you will have 40 to 50-year-old black, white, Asians, like living their life with their kids, doing their job, you know, everything that a 40, 50-year-old should be doing. That's like, yeah, I know every single Jay-Z lyric. And we're only, I feel like, in terms of like real stars coming out of the UK, like rap stars, we're only just getting to that now, So like, I've got kids, you know what I mean, or whatever, some of the man them here will have kids or whatever, and they'll still know a Sneak Bow lyric, do you get what I mean? Or like, do you get what I mean? But they'll be looking after their 2-year-old, but they'll still know Sneakbo lyric, or if Sneakbo is at a festival or someone else is at a festival, they might still want to go to that. So I feel like it's gonna happen now. Yeah, but in the UK, we're still in a place where it can easily be made to look like, this is a young man's sport. Why is this old guy trying to come in and act like he's this, act like he's that, yeah? So for me, I was thinking about the whole thing, questioning it. I tried to not like plan every move like so calculated, but I'm always thinking about things. So I was like, like, obviously taking inspiration from the Jay-Z's, from the Kanye's, like, let me just get on my entrepreneurial bag. Like, let me just, all the things that I wanted to do that isn't necessarily to do with like music, let me just do it. Do you know what I mean? I know all the people that I'd need to like link up with, partner with.
I like the way you circled back to the original.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Come on.
You didn't forget my question.
Man's been doing this for a while.
Sorry.
Oh, what? People just start going on mad time, and the editor's got bare problems. He's like,
Yeah.
no. So
So I
was like, do you know what? Let me start to think about what a rapper looks like that's successful, that's made it, that's older. Do you know what I mean? That's got kids, whatever. And so I just started putting all my energy into my entrepreneurial ambitions, and then obviously us being not like trying to link everyone together, but I would say the African mindset, especially at the top of the pandemic, bro. I don't know about you guys, but I was shook, bro. Like, you know, like I just thought like, everything's gonna end. It's gonna come crashing down. Like the world is gonna. Like I was so naturally, I just started getting like bare pragmatic, and I was like, I need to do this. I need to call my man, do this. Like when they even saying, travel restrictions, I'm like, bruv, I need to get out of the country, link up with my brother, see what I can do, just lay foundations. You know what I mean? Because we might be using all this, like my toilet paper might run out, all my rations might run out, and I'm done. Like that's the way I was kind of looking at it. But obviously, fortunately, it wasn't like that. And then there was a few things that ended up coming from that, and raps was one of them. But you know, even so, since I made Youth, I've set up a publishing company. We've made records for like Drake, you know, Passion Fruit. We've made records for Alicia Keys, for Santan Dave, for Central C. So there's a lot of people that, like, even over the last couple of years when I've been thinking about this stuff and still making music to a certain degree, but not on a mad level, like, or rate, like how I was, like when I first started putting out music on a commercial level. I still have felt so much a part of the industry and so much a part of the culture, even though I haven't screamed about it. Like you've never said, like Loading, Central C, you know, that's a producer that we work very, very closely with. Do you know what I mean? So that's technically, you know, very much obviously Central C's win, but we were able to celebrate in that as well. But yeah, I just haven't shouted about anything. I'm just trying to keep my head down and just trying to focus and build. Oh, and going back to, sorry, what you were saying about where it all comes from. For me, I think as black people, as Africans, as Caribbeans, I think it's important to always reinforce that it's not just about music and it's not just about football, one, yeah? I think secondly, ownership is very, very important. You know, if you've got a good idea, if you've got a good concept, you should, and I do think that, you know, there's lots of ways to look at ownership. When I say ownership, I don't necessarily mean 100%. Do you get what I mean? But you should definitely build a business around what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? And just and try your best to own the IP, all the creative hours that you put into something, or the effort, the hustling that you put into trying to make it happen. You should reap the real benefits of it. And so I feel, like part of all of what I'm doing now is to kind of show people with my platform that, yeah, you don't just have to be a rapper or whatever. You can also do this and you can own it, and it can be just as lucrative, just as successful, if not more. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then also, like, I'll be real with you, just taking inspiration from some of our American counterparts, do you get what I mean, who have gone and done a thing like Sweet Chick, like Nas, or Wingstop, or like Rick Ross, or like, why not? Do you get what I mean? Why not?
I remember reading Decoded.
Yeah.
Read Decoded,
Yeah, Jay-Z, yeah.
And Jay-Z saying he met Russell Simmons when they were trying to get a deal back in 94, 96. And he said the moment he met Russell Simmons, he was like, I need to be that guy. I'm a rapper right now, but I need to be that guy. And this is exactly what you're talking about right now. Do you get what I'm saying? Which I think is so dope. But I know what you mean. But like,
So it does.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a psychological thing, but like I definitely do at times feel like that. So again, it's no different here. Like it's no
Yeah,
different
but if
here.
you're doing the right thing, like all the time, you're gonna win. Like it's like.
No,
Messi,
I know
it's
I'm
like
gonna
Messi,
win. I know
yeah.
I'm gonna
It's like
win.
Messi and R9. It's like don't let no one else have a turn.
I know, but it's but
You know what I'm
but this
saying?
is why this conversation is so good.
Yeah.
You see with sport, yeah, right. This is the first interview where people have just seen me constantly talk with food in my mouth. But I like it. I like it.
It's your food, so it's calm.
Yeah, it's my food, so it's
It's
calm.
your
Yeah,
food,
exactly. So you see with sport, yeah, sport, you can't argue. So you can say, oh, who's better, Messi, Ronaldo, but really and truly, all the statistics are there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we know who's the best, yeah? Whereas with music and any other art form, there is statistics, but the statistics don't necessarily mean that person is the best. Do you get what I mean? So it's then as a result, it all becomes subjective. Like especially within certain cultures, where people will choose to like look at the statistics when it suits them and then choose not to when it doesn't. Do you get what I mean? So I think with sport, like Ronaldo or Messi, they are the best, and so it doesn't matter how old they are, it doesn't matter what, because year on year, they prove that they are.
Doesn't it work with music in terms of Grammys and all of this? Like
With music, must
I mean,
become
like-
in trouble.
it doesn't. It's not the same, no. That's the way I look at it as well. It's like
Nah.
awards and that.
I'll tell you what it is, yeah. I'm gonna try and say this in the most political correct way possible, yeah. There's an artist here, artist A. Artist A is putting on for UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Putting on, blowing up. Everybody loves him. You see when the winning's too winning, yeah.
Thank you, bro.
When they can't even comprehend what you're doing right now in life, like you've gone too far.
Yeah.
He's changed, he's blah, 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 he's not this, and then they're looking for the next one. It's almost like they want you to
Go so far.
to just stay, I don't know, I don't know what, you know what I'm trying to say, innit?
Go so far and stay.
Yeah,
in that position.
yeah, but they don't want you to take it further, like, okay, here's enough. No, bro, like, what if man want to take it further?
You know what, Femi? I've got to a
You know
point
what I'm
where I used to see it in a kind of like, I used to take it personal
Yeah.
and see it in a negative way, but I don't really see it like that anymore. I'm also see it like, we just love to see the come up, innit? That's what we want to see.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. We just want to see the come up. The guy that's come out of the block, or he's come out of his mum's house, or he's come out of college or uni if he's a clever kid. And then he just blows, innit? And then he blows and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what we want to see. And then when it gets to a point where, like you said, it's unrelatable, then we just want to see the next kid. Yeah. It's like always looking for like the star players, like always looking, oh, Salah, yeah, he's getting a bit old now, yeah, like who's the next, oh, this kid, yeah, and then we put all our energy, because ultimately, as a community, you know, when I'm speaking about like the black art community, like, it's exciting, isn't it? Like to see that kid. Do you know what I mean? It's exciting to see that fresh kid, fresh crepes, fresh trim, ready to go. Like I love it too. So it kind of just is what it is. But I think, yeah, I got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm always gonna make music. I've got my studios now. Lots of artists. I've got lots of things. I've done a lot in so many different ways. I'm always gonna make music. But let me start putting myself in areas where I'm not, what's the word? You know, I'm not always at the mercy of the public. Yeah.
So obviously,
Let me give these boys some food. You, man.
yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, help
Cool,
yourself,
fam.
man. Let's
Why
not
not
leave
finish
this
this?
food to go to
Come on,
waste.
man.
Yeah.
Come. Don't worry about the screen and that.
Don't be
worry about the
shy.
screen and that. Don't worry.
Shy. Yeah.
No, we're not kind of out. Just come and eat.
Don't want you to eat.
Let me take. Good to go, yeah.
Yeah. Good to go.
You can ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah, go. Good to go, yeah. Everyone all right? Cool. Let's go.
So obviously, going back to you juggling things, like, how busy are you at the moment?
That's a great question. I'm extremely busy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm extremely busy, but you know what? I like it. I like it, and I'm kind of used to it. So you have to think as well, when your first album goes off like that, like I've been used to flying around the world since I was like 20, 21, normal, flying around the world, sometimes going to 2 different places in one day. Meeting, so I'm conditioned, my body's conditioned, you know, like an athlete or something like that.
Could you give us some insight on one of your craziest experiences in terms of like maybe it could be a show or flying somewhere or meeting someone or just something? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to something that I'd
Yeah, but like what though?
To you, your crazy experience, meeting
mind-blowing
someone.
experience. Like,
Yeah.
a moment. Like,
Too many, bro. Yeah, too many.
What one sticks out for you that you look at and you still like, that was amazing.
I remember a time, obviously, when I performed at the BAFTAs and I met Oprah, because obviously my mum loves Oprah. You know the ones from back in the day. So meeting Oprah, there was other people there. I met Angelina Jolie. I met all these different people because I'd performed at the BAFTAs, and then when I performed at the BAFTAs, because I know some of the royal family. When I was at the front of the when I was at the front of the stage.
Wait a minute!
I know some of the real family.
Tiny!
Is that Tiny?
Tiny! Man just said yeah, because I
No,
know
no,
some
no,
of the
man.
royal family. But yeah,
No, because a while back, Prince William and Kate had come to see a gig of mine, so I was.
Tiny, want to kill us yet? Just kill me!
Wait.
Kill me, Dad!
Wait.
Kill us! Kill us!
So,
Prince Harry comes to see a gig.
yeah, William. So
sorry.
I went.
He's not stopping. He's not stopping.
So I performed at the BAFTAs. So when I saw him, I felt familiar. So I was like, let me give my man a little high five.
Yeah.
So obviously I high fived my man. Obviously, you know they say, you're not supposed to do all of that. But I high fived him. It landed.
So you high-fived
Yeah,
him, it
connected.
landed.
It went like this. Look. Connected. Made the press, front page of all the press outlets at the time.
Yeah.
And then obviously when I went to the after party, they were like, who's obviously this guy that performed, but not only performed, is pallying up with my man. Cool, like we want to know who you are. So I met like all of these Hollywood A-list people, but then even now that I'm saying that, that's not even like the best, biggest, craziest moment. Like even the closing of the Olympics, closing ceremony of the Olympics, I performed at that, and like, 1 billion people tuned in to watch that, like live, 1 billion. One of the largest audiences ever in history tuned in to watch that. It was London, it was 2012. There was all sorts of amazing acts like that were performing around it. It was like top secret, everyone had to sign NDAs. That was a mad moment as well. There's been too many, bro, like too many. Being in training camps with some of my favorite athletes, I was in, obviously I just watched the Tyson Fury and Dillian fight, but I was in a training camp with Dillian for his previous fight. In Portugal, because I go to Portugal quite a lot in the summer. He happened to be there. So any like athlete that I have a close connection with, because I like to train a lot, I'll always jump into their training camps, train with them, try and keep, obviously I can't keep up with Dillian White, but I'll try to see cool. But there's just too many, like too many. And I thank God, bro. I thank God for it all.
Is good.
And obviously, you saying that you've been used to this since the age of 20, 21. How did you like deal with the fame? Because you was quite.
That's
famous.
a very good question.
How did you deal with it?
So like obviously you have to remember at the time there was no such thing of like awareness of like we need to talk about anxiety or mental health or this or that. There wasn't really that about. So my way of kind of managing everything was surround yourself with people that you trust. Surround yourself with all your family, close family. That's why, again, like, my sister Kelly, like I had people like her working very direct and closely with me. Cousins, just surrounding myself with like family. Brought my mum to a lot of places, not like gigs and shows, but every once in a while I'll be doing Graham Norton, she'll be in the crowd. I'll say, oh, big up Mumsy, every boy likes their mum, innit, from where we're from. But for me, it was having like people like that around and having them be very honest with me as well. So like anytime I was stepping a foot wrong, like my engineer, for example, / even just close friend, confidant, everything. I've been recording with him since I was 15. Obviously my first song did really well when I was probably 20. So he's been in my life since I was 15 to now I'm 33, still in my life. So anything that's like left that he doesn't like, he'll be like, bro, you're fucking about, bruv. He's just some Irish guy, bro. He don't give a fuck. He's like, you're fucking about, bruv. You're off the ball, mate. Or you need to fix up. You need to go home, bro. And he does not. There's no, because you know when you start blowing up, you start getting lots of yes people around you, people that want to be around you for the ride, for the journey. My way of surviving was just like not to allow any of that. Anyone that's telling me too much sweet things that I want to hear, I'll be like, no. You know, I'll be falling for it. I'll be like, no. I need to hear the opposite of this. Yeah, I need to hear the opposite of this. Yeah. And sometimes maybe I was looking for the opposite too much, and maybe some people took advantage of that. But for me, that was my way of like keeping myself very, very grounded, because I knew in order to do what I had to do, I'd seen some people come before me, do you get what I mean? And I'd seen some people get, you know, maybe when they went to America for the first time, they got blinded by the lights, one picture of an American rapper, they think there's someone else completely, do you know what I mean? Or a little bit of change that they would have made, 100 racks, this, that, and then now they've changed completely. So I just never wanted to be that person. And that was my way of kind of remedying the whole
a family
thing.
around, having people that you trust around you all the time. I'm gonna get into something after, but first I want us to do a shot.
Yeah, cool. Come man.
So we're gonna do a shot of this spirit,
So they're saying Wagwan is certified, yeah?
Yeah,
Wagwan. Okay.
Yeah, serious, man.
All right.
So it's a shot.
Wow, look at the color.
Yeah,
nice.
Do a shot.
Good job is off season.
All right, cool. So,
cheers, man. Brother. Come on, my guys.
My brothers.
Love
Cheers,
you.
man. Love.
Man.
Yeah. How'd you find that?
Nice.
All right, cool. So now we're gonna get back to this.
Yep.
There's not
Which is
much
nearly
left.
finished.
Not
Yeah,
much left.
There's not much left. Just a salad.
That's it.
Need to encourage you, man, to eat healthy. Healthy. Why is this the one that's been neglected?
I didn't see this.
Healthy living, lads. Healthy living. You man are ballers, man. Come on, man.
Oh, why are you doing that?
Come on, man. 6 packs and that.
Why are you doing that? We're all drinking and that. All right, cool. So principles.
Yeah.
So obviously, I can imagine from when you come out the gate, you've had to be mad disciplined. You learn a lot.
Yeah.
Life's taught you a lot. Serious. That's like similar to football. We feel like what we've had to learn in football, discipline, pressure, those principles that we've learned, we feel like we can go into anything and thrive if we put our minds to it. Yeah. So, what?
Wow, look at the reflexes as he said
That's
that.
That's the football.
Man's an Avenger on the sly, you know. Flipping hell.
But
cool.
what principles do you use from music in your day-to-day life or in your ventures, like raps and your business ventures? What principles did you learn from music that you realized, oh, okay, I can apply this into your
very
business?
Good question.
Yeah.
Very good question. I'd say with music, it's like the principles will always just come from the individual and who the individual is around and the upbringing of the individual, because music in a weird way kind of doesn't have any principles. If you even really think about it, unlike sport, it's kind of designed to kind of like mess you up, fuck you up, really. Like to be honest,
there's no structure.
Because obviously, you know, in sport, you have a coach, and that technically crosses over into a manager. Do you know what I mean? But really, not really. Do you get what I mean? Your agent is kind of like the manager, but we don't really have a coach. We don't have someone that's there working on your like mental, your physical, your this, your that. You can hire that person externally, which is what I did. Yeah. So so I linked up with like, again, which is why I know a lot of the boxers. I linked up with a guy called Ruben Tabares, that Dummy, who was managing me at the time, knew, and then he basically introduced me to this new way of like nutritional eating, strength and conditioning, like just thinking like an athlete and just trying to like prepare for a tour, but like an athlete.
I remember because there was one time you were looking wham. I can't remember what
Yeah.
What era was this? I can't remember what year it was. You were looking in shape, bro.
So it was all about that. Like obviously you can still have a good time, but in order for you to survive this, you're gonna have to be like an athlete. That was the mindset. But going to what I learned from music,
not much really. That's the honesty.
Like Yeah, like honestly, like music is there to kind of fuel your ego. It's there to make you feel like you're the biggest thing ever in the world. I mean, it's there to make you like all the vices you could ever want are available, like through music or through the arts. I don't just want to go on.
Look, I hear that. Honestly, I do. But the level that you achieve musically, surely it's got to take something. Like it's not sort of. Like you can't just say
but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's down to the individual, because if you think about it, like how many man or woman find themselves in a music situation, find themselves with a deal, and then it never happens for them. It never works.
So you personalize your thing. Then.
Yeah. Okay. So my own personal principles. Work hard and be kind. Yeah. Work very hard and be very nice to people, because you never know what someone's going through. You never know what. So even if you've had a bad day or something like that. I remember, again, another mad moment in my life. I was at dinner with Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow when they were together. They were like still going out together. And Cameron Diaz as well.
Oh,
Cameron. She was there.
Just cut this thing.
Yeah, she was there. So again, I was asking them, like anytime I meet someone like that, I'll always ask them for like life advice and this and that and that. And Gwyneth, I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but she was just like, whenever someone comes to ask me for a picture, like I can never say no to them, because I just think this is God-given. Like everything that's happened to me is as a result of God, and I'm privileged. So who am I to be like, nah, like I don't want to take it. Like I could, like just by me just being there for 3 seconds, it could change that person's day or their life or whatever. So I really took that on board, and I was like, you know what? Work very hard and be relentless. Like I'm a savage, bro, when it comes to work. I'll outwork anyone, But in terms of like how I deal with people, how I deal with people, it's like I deal with you like you're my brother, like, and I give you that trust, I give you that love, like, and I've realized that your energy, like how you match someone and how you meet somebody, with your energy, typically is how they'll meet you.
Perfect.
Do you get what I mean? That's why a lot of like scenarios I've heard when I was growing up, like, this happened to my man. Why? What happened? Because when they pulled up to him, he started running, or this happened, like someone tried to ask him something and he was like, what do you mean? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? So for me, it's like just try and spread positive energy and love, because we all need it, bro. Especially where we're all coming from. Like most of us, we're not middle class. Like I grew up in a working class family, immigrant background, people that started.
Ellsbury Estate, come on,
Ellsbury, same estate, you already know. From day, I mean, but immigrant background, you know, starting from the bottom, literally cleaning jobs to wherever they're at now. Do you get what I mean? So I have everything to be happy for and grateful for. So that's one of my biggest principles. And then, what else really helps me? Like, okay, so lateral thinking. So one time, again, I know Sir Paul Smith really well. One time I went into his office, into his studios.
If you want to kill me, just say it.
You're the ones that were asking. You're the ones that asked me for this. I didn't want to.
The amount of names that I heard today.
We're talking about this. We're talking about the food, the principles.
The principles.
Anyway, today I know Tinie. Me and Tinie were boys. All these names that we need. If you see me in Fitz, Harry, William, Queen, you know what time it is.
He said the Queen. He said if you see me with the Queen.
But yeah, so basically one time he invited man to his studio, and then he just played this video, and the video was all about like lateral thinking, and apparently he put this presentation. Lateral thinking is just thinking like a little bit more broader. Do you get what I mean? So a little bit more like, okay, cool. These on the surface are little stems of what is eventually going to be a full plant. But if you look at it, it could be like a design for a t-shirt. It could be like a structure for how you build houses. Without going into the technical definition, that essentially is lateral thinking. So I remember like we sat down, put on this presentation, and I was just watching it, and he was like, talking, and then after I finished watching it, I was like, raw, you know, sometimes you can just see this, and this is like a cocktail here, but there's actually so many different components to it: the mint, the passion fruit, the ice, the angle of the ice, the straw. Do you know what I mean? And if you're creative and you have a creative mind, You could make artwork out of this. You could get an idea for a music.
Wow.
It's even
You could
that.
get an idea for a t-shirt.
Even
out
that.
of this. You
It's
could
even je ne sais quoi.
exactly, exactly, bro.
See that? It's the je ne sais
You're
quoi.
rolling. To
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
But yeah, so having that kind of idea and attitude to lateral thinking, seeing things for more than what they are, trying to see the beauty in things, trying to look at the angle and all of that. I would say that some of that is my principle. And then also I think part of my principle's been I've always tried to pay it forward and empower the next generation, always. Like, because for me, there's no point of like, well, Tupac said it in a different way, ain't no fun if your homies can't get some, yeah? But that was for something else. But for me, it's like, none of this is fun if my brethren can't be there to enjoy it with me and enjoy it equally, if not greater, if not a little bit under, whatever, but there or thereabouts.
Tupac said it in an explicit way, basically.
Yeah, for things. I mean, but for me, it's like bringing like next people through, do you know what I mean? And a new generation and seeing them win. Like I currently have an artist called Lost Girl, like she's currently on tour with Craig David and Nipper at the moment. They just did like 2 O2 arenas, like they did Leeds, Hull, Newcastle, basically all the arenas in the UK. And like, I've taken more of like a managerial role, publishing role, kind of behind the scenes role. And she's still very, very like at a grassroots stage. But just seeing her like warm up, go on the stage, like it's almost to me as beautiful as watching myself do it.
Yeah.
In certain ways, it's more. Because obviously when you come off stage, you're just thinking, oh, I'm tired or I'm this or that.
Yeah.
But when she's coming off stage,
You're
seeing it from a
Everything
different
else.
perspective.
Angle,
Yeah, you're
yeah.
proud. And you're like, rah, 3 months ago, you wouldn't have been doing this. And So for me, seeing a new generation come through and thrive off of the efforts of ourselves, do you know what I mean? Similar way like with footballers, if like certain man set up an academy or set up, you know, like a route of entry, like, or started going to schools themselves and we're like, we're gonna set up a talent scout agency. Like I live for things like that. Like I live for it, bro. Like
before we get into drip, I know we've had you for a minute here, but before we get into the drip section, I'm gonna ask you last question. Raps. What's the vision for it, man?
Thank you.
What's the vision for it?
So at the moment, we've got this amazing pop-up that we're at now. A lot of people think it's my restaurant. It's not my restaurant. I wish it was. But it's a pop-up and we're going to be here for the next couple months. So if you're about, make sure you come down to the John Lewis rooftop.
Willows on the roof.
Willows on the roof,
John Lewis
all of that.
rooftop.
Make sure you come and check it out for
Come and
yourself
check it out. Food
and that's where you'll
developments.
get the full experience. Like if
The
we
food
were a
developments.
restaurant, this is kind of the vibe, what we'd be going for.
If you catch T, he'll order the whole platform.
Yeah. And I'm here a lot as well. So if you catch me, you're getting nice. Definitely.
Summer is a vibe.
Yeah.
It's a big vibe.
Oh yeah, so summer is a vibe. Yeah, if you catch me here, you're getting nice, 100%. But for me, I'm very much focused on like all of the other things that raps can do, because obviously food for us culturally is so important. Yeah, many conversations are had through food. Business deals are done through food. Lots of things happen. Dates, linkages, relationships are formed. Relationships are formed through food. Yeah. So for me, just having a space that people can come and enjoy. Like I'm enjoying lots of rappers like hitting me up saying, "Oh, I want to fly through there. Can you?" So I'm really enjoying that at the moment. But beyond that, raps can be as big or small as I want it to be, God willing. Like it could be something where we have a raps 10 at a festival, do you get what I mean? And we're incorporating food with music, etc. We're thinking about creating a raps platform similar to like a Daily Duppy, Fire in the Booth kind of thing, where people can come and just do their
Raps,
thing.
yeah.
I've got this idea, I'm still trying to figure it out, which is like Great British Rap Off. I've just got the name, but it's like Great British Bake Off. But I don't know, I've got the name there, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Getting artists that, come up that are about to release a record to come and make a special rap, like in their name. Do you know what I mean? There's lots of different things, man. So for me, right now it's here and it's on Deliveroo, only in London for now. Hopefully we're gonna scale it out and then from there it could be whatever, man.
And this is to all my footballers. It's healthy food. Look what I mean.
That's it, man.
Look,
Chicken that's a lot.
Salad, wraps. So footballers make sure as well.
Yeah, it's
you get
nice,
the wraps.
man. It goes down well.
Do you know, I was laughing right there. You actually just used lateral thinking just then. Like,
Is it?
I was just looking at the cocktail and then you were like, yeah, wraps can become, and I'm looking at the middle and I'm looking at the...
Yeah, bro,
Fashion,
of
and I'm
course.
like, yeah, it can become wraps.
Exactly. It
People
could become
rapping on that.
whatever.
People coming on
That's
that.
lateral
Like,
thinking.
lateral
Exactly.
thinking.
Exactly.
Come on, man, you
brother.
taught me something today.
Exactly,
fam.
my
You
guy.
taught me something
My
today.
guy, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. So go on.
So Tinie, like you walked in today, and you took a phone call.
Yes.
Yeah. And I said to Femi, I said to Manny, I said to Larry, bro, how does he make the drip look like that? So Tinie, I want you
Oh,
to,
wow.
I want to get an insight of your vision of drip fashion. Obviously, the young people call it drip fashion. What's your vision? What do you think of when you put on your clothes?
Nowadays, comfort, bro. You see this Izzy Miyake thing, yeah, bro? It's so comfortable, bro. You man know already, bro.
Wait,
It's comfortable, bro.
No.
That's 33, bro. I need to be
Stop,
comfortable, bro.
Tinie, man.
Oh,
You see one thing that he's
my
good at,
body is
yeah?
hurting
He
me.
talks normal, but he just drops it in there. So you could have said that. You see this two-piece that I've got? He's got. You see this in Miyake?
Nah,
How did you know it was Miyake though?
Yeah, no. But still, I know.
No,
But still.
I know we do, but like,
Yeah, no, for me, the main thing now, honestly, I would say is comfort. But then, remember, like, Britain's best dressed man from 2010, bro, from already, they knew what I was working with from then, yeah? So for me, like, I've had the luxury of going to a load of...
Wait, he just done it again. He just.
GQ. No, but you know what I've realised? Sometimes you have to remind people.
no,
Yeah,
no,
and if you don't remind people, what are they going to hear, man?
I love it.
Yeah.
Talk your thing,
Bro,
bro.
Britain's number one best
Simple.
dressed man.
There we go. There we
from
have it.
2010.
You lot come on the
GQ
show.
official.
We were talking about drip. We've got the best dressed man
Hair.
That's
right
it,
now.
that's it.
Drip. How about that, bro?
That's
Got him there,
it.
man.
Yeah, that's it. So,
talk your
so
thing, man.
from then and from that point, obviously invited to loads of fashion shows, invited to loads of fashion designers' studios. Ended up making a brand of my own called What We Wear, and like through all of that, I've just been obsessed with like different brands from all over the world, different textures, textiles, and I would say now my brain is wired in that way where if I discover a new brand, I can look at it, look at the fabric, look at the way it's cut and be like, that's gonna go off, do you know what I mean? Or that's gonna do something, let me start wearing it. And then if it's comfortable, it's a win-win. That's basically
So
it.
would you say like your fashion sense, you take bits from different things that you witness and see from different brands and stuff?
100%, and typically all over the world. So like if I go to New York, obviously everyone will go there. Most people, typically will go there, go for the crepes. Do you know what I mean? I want to get all the Jordans. It's the same way that Jordan is an American brand, obviously because it's an offshoot of Nike. But then I'll look for like an American little bespoke tailor or like designer that's making mad suits or mad fly shit. And then there's like this brand called Bode at the moment, Bode. Heavy, bro, heavy American brand. I know you're thinking, I got that in my stash.
We know about Bode.
After this, give me a list. Give me a list.
Yeah,
list
of course, I'll give you a list, I'll plug it. But yeah, so typically everywhere I go, I'll just try and find somewhere that's local to the place. And that's kind of what my wardrobe is. So depending on where I travel to, I will try and not look like the place, I look like me in the place.
In the place.
Yeah.
And Nigerians the best dressed.
I would say now, I would say over the last 5 years, we've been the best dressed. And the indicator is our Afrobeat videos. Yeah. Because we're Nigerian, but obviously we're UK Nigerian. Yeah. And so even when we go to Nigeria, people will say, you're not the same now. It's different now.
Do you know what done it for me, yeah?
Go on.
Listen, bro. Brits after party, yeah? So...
Was he there, yeah?
I was there. But listen to this. So now, yeah, Brits after party. I'm with my brother, I'm with Kub. We see Tinie, Dumi, Obes. I'm looking at those three. I'm looking at us.
Hold tight, do me an oath.
We came looking. And that's the day I realised we're the best dressed men. 6 Nigerian men like that,
That's
all
a
in
problem.
one place.
That's a problem. We should have got arrested for looking
We should
at
have got a picture. Bro, that day was, if you saw what everyone was wearing, it was too mad.
That's
That
different,
corner,
yeah.
that corner was like,
But what I will say to that,
Yeah.
I will say to that, because you're 100%.
Yeah,
It's the same way I was looking at you, man. Yeah. Like, obviously, every African has this kind of like confidence, this kind of like kingly way of conducting themselves, carrying themselves. It's come from our family as well. Like my mum's always made me know, like, you're a king, you're a young king.
Yeah.
Carry yourself with. Don't be with all these boys stabbing and stabbing. You're a king, you know. Carry yourself in that way. You know who your grandfather was. You know who his grand. So that's always been my thing. And the reason why I was referencing the Afrobeat lads, is because obviously for a while, like maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was a bit left. Do you get what I mean? It was a bit Congolese, a bit mismatched. Mismatched all over the place. Shout out my Congolese brothers, you already know. No, the love is there still. But they know, you guys know how you dress. But it was a bit like that, But now, I would say Instagram kind of just tidied up everything for everyone. It's like if you didn't know what you were doing, you've got like references now. So I think now everyone's kind of got it together. Now when I'm looking at the Afrobeat videos, especially the ones coming out of Nige, but I'm not even, I don't know about you guys, but the last time I actually looked at an American artist and I was like, raw, like I want to be like you, or I want to go to your hood or where you live. But I was a kid, bro. Like now it's everything is Nige, bro. Or Ghana, or South Africa. Like, I want to be like them, man.
Those are the places to visit now.
Got it on Smash.
Nah, that's sick. That's sick, man. Nah,
Tinie, this has been unbelievable.
Nah, thank you, my
The
brothers.
food, the time you've given us, and then now, even now, I know the Queen.
Just by default, 1 degree of separation. Look at that.
One person away from the Queen,
Yeah,
man.
come on,
one
my
person
brother.
away from the Queen.
Nah, I appreciate you guys, man.
Bro, absolute pleasure.
Thank you, my brother.
Honestly,
Thank you,
so
my brother.
much.
And thank you guys for coming down as well, man. I know you guys are busy guys with your schedules and that. I mean, so thank you very much for coming down. And it's good to have this conversation, man. We need to do it more.
No, 100%. And raps, make sure you guys calm down because the
Yes, sir.
food was banging.
If you come, Prince William will be here.
Guarantee.
Make sure.
Guaranteed.
You get me?
Alright, that's a wrap out.
Lovely.